Hey, folks, welcome back to Chris Wyatt Africa. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. And once again, I'm outnumbered by the ladies. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but welcome back to the program. Just a short discussion here, a conversation about an upcoming event here from these folks. Once again, you may remember Linda Louise. She was in the program previously. There she is to my side. And below me, we have Karen Blair, who's joined us as new to the program. Karen, welcome to the program. And they're going to tell us a little bit about this 21-day workshop, which is really about, it's called Activate Abundance. And it's about taking control of your life and kind of cleaning out the clutter and not being one of these people that does this. Well, it's New Year's, time for resolution. So I'm going to lose 10 kg. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you put it all up there and you put a mark on the wall. And then like 98% of the other people make New Year's resolutions. Nothing happens. You get halfway through the year and like, I haven't gotten rid of 10 kg. I've added 5. That's the opposite direction. But seriously, it's not about losing weight. It's about taking control of your own life and really cleaning out the clutter and actually making some progress there. Is that a fair description of what we're talking about here, Karen?
Yes, 100%. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for introducing me. We're very excited about this workshop because I've seen so many vision boards on people's walls and I've seen goals written everywhere. And I myself have had many ideas of what I was going to do in the year and never did any of it. So Linda and I decided that we're going to create a workshop so that people can actively get involved in controlling their lives and changing their lives. So we look at where they are right now and where they want to go. And where they are right now, we're looking at their finances, because finances is a wonderful place to start, because when we look at our finances, we can see exactly what we're doing with our lives on all levels. So we're going to be looking at things like your expenses, your fixed expenses and your variable expenses. And each day we just do one thing. So on the first day, we will look at your fixed expenses. The next day, the variable expenses. Then we'll have a look at things like your assets, and we will just continue this process and see. Our goal is to actually make money by just looking at our expenses and what we're doing. Because if we look at our expenses differently and we start to change the way we spend our money, or we reduce some of the things that we have, we can actually start making money there and then. So nobody looks at anything until they feel this feeling in their body. And suddenly, when there's not so much money, you think, oh, I need to do something about it. So we want to actually get people in tune with their bodies. So when that feeling comes up, to actually do something. So we are going to be doing that something with them. Do you want to say a little bit more, Linda?
Well, before we get to Linda real quickly, just let me reflect on that. You said that, just finding money. I think what you mean by that, if I understood correctly, if I inferred correctly, is people are typically spending money that they may not realize they're spending. They're not cognizant of it and they do it as a habit. I mean, I help people with financial advice. I'm not a financial planner, but people tell me I don't have any money. I'm like, but didn't you just have takeaway last night? What'd you spend on that? Was that 200 Rand? Or, if in the States, you spend $20 on takeaway. You're telling me you have no money and you've got a Frappuccino in your hand that costs $6.40. Did you really need that Frappuccino right now? Maybe that's an expense you don't need. Have you taken a look at what subscriptions you have for magazines and things like that maybe you're not reading anymore? It sounds like that's kind of what you're trying to help people do, is kind of clear that clutter and focus on the things that they really need.
It's 100%. I mean, I had a bank account and there was 5,000 Rand in it at the beginning of last year, and then I wanted to transfer it and it was only 4,000 Rand and I didn't spend any of it. So it all went on bank charges. So I had the awareness instantly. If I'd only moved that money into another account, I would have actually saved those 1,000 Rand and I could have done something nice for myself. So it's that awareness. So when we start, and a lot of us have got all these beautiful cards, Smart Shopper, whatever the cards are, we don't use them. Like we've got a petrol card, with Discovery. But then I go and I shop I get petrol from the wrong place. I go to a petrol station that's not linked to my card. So instead of earning the 500 Rand, I'm losing it. So it's not to keep people in that scarcity consciousness where they're just looking at what they don't have. That's not the point of it. It is to see, where am I now? What can I change? And where do I want to go to? So that's really that's how we've thought about this program.
No, I think that's an excellent approach to take to it. Now, Linda, you've been on the program before. We had you on. I think your program, you talked about, you had a seminar, I think it was called Heart Song, if I remember correctly, if I got that right, if the synapses are firing correctly. And it was a very interesting concept. Now you're working together with Karen on this activity. What other things can we talk about here as far as this Activate Abundance?
I think, just in enlarging what Karen has said, is that we really want people to tap into abundance consciousness. So while they're doing these practical exercises of looking at finances, looking at their relationships, looking at different aspects of their life, is whilst they're doing that, is to tap into something in their life that's already abundant. And, things that we take for granted, like I can turn on the tap and I have running water, or I have a fantastic neighbor who gives me a lift to get my groceries. There's something in our lives, and usually more than one thing, where we already have some abundance, but we don't see it. We focus on the lack of what is lacking, instead of actually acknowledging those little things that are actually creating some form of abundance in our life. And the more we focus on that consciousness of abundance, the more we're going to attract it. If you look at the basic law of attraction and how life works in terms of what you focus on, you're going to attract and create more of. So if we look at that, so that's another aspect we're going to be bringing into people's lives, is to actually, yes, look at where we are, and then to look at what is in my life where I actually have abundance. And now it might be that I live in a lovely neighborhood. I've got a beautiful tree outside, and when I look at that tree, it just connects me to nature and I feel expansive. So it sounds a bit airy-fairy, but it's something tangible in your life that you've taken for granted, but which does create a feeling of abundance and expansion within you.
No, it sounds like you're really trying to help people see the forest through the trees. I mean, honestly, people get lost. They get lost and take for granted the things around them.
Yeah.
It's the sub peri-urban development that I live in is rather small, and some of these places have hundreds or thousands of houses. But I live in a semi-rural area, which is close to a major city and close to the outdoors, and only about 40 houses here. And there's no possibility for any more houses to be built because of the way it's geographically laid out. And I never take that for granted. I think about it. That's not necessarily abundance, but I mean, the comfort, the security, the lack of traffic and congestion that I don't have, or that I do or don't have, is all a consequence of that. So I suppose that would be something along the lines of what you're talking about. It's important for people to appreciate what they've got in their lives rather than look the other way. So Karen, is it too late? Is it too late for people to sign up for this? That's one question. Before you answer that one, I want to ask this question. I mean, is this, do we have to show up? I mean, obviously I can't rock up. I'm in the States. So is this something you have to people to be there physically to do, or can you do this online? And what sort of participation is this? And then is it too late to be involved?
And no, it's definitely not too late to be involved. We would love people to get involved. We will be doing it from 7 p.m. till 8:30 p.m. So the first hour, there'll be teachings, there'll be integration processes. We're going to be working with people's belief systems, because a lot of the times we know all this stuff, but we get stuck in our belief system. So we're going to be working in their subconscious mind so that they can actually get through work through their belief systems and to see life differently, but not consciously. It's going to be in their awareness. So so we're going to be doing processes. So for the first hour, we'll be doing that. And then for half an hour, we're going to be actively watching people do their work. So we leave the screen on. They will go to their bank statement on the first evening, and they're going to start looking at their fixed costs. So they will have time to do it, because a lot of people just don't have time, and they say they're going to do it, but they come back the next day and nothing's been done. So we're going to include this in the workshop. So everything is inclusive in one go, and every day only one thing. Because I have been to so many workshops, they give you so much to do, I eventually do nothing. So that's why we're really just focusing, and it's true, right? I sometimes just don't even know where to begin, so I don't do it. So that's why only one thing. That's the thing, only one thing a day. And one thing a day we can manage. It's just like taking one step when we have this massive goal we're going to get to. And we just take one step towards it. We start to feel better because we took the step actively. We did something about our lives actively.
Excellent. Well, Linda, did I infer correctly then, based on what Karen just said? It sounds like it's an online event that you can participate online.
It is online, and it'll be 7 p.m. South African time. So people from internationally can join if it suits them time-wise. anybody is welcome to join. And yeah, we'll also record the session and have a Facebook group where people, if they're not able to make it, or if they want to recap, have the opportunity to relook the whole session again. And yeah, we're very excited. It really is holding people's hands in taking the step forward each day in their lives, particularly for those who are really in maybe a downward spiral, really feeling stuck emotionally, financially, in various areas of their life. So yeah, it's really, we're looking forward to taking the step with them.
Well, I would imagine that in the best of times, this is something that a fair number of people could probably take advantage of. They probably need in their life to help them kind of clear the clutter in their life, take a close look and evaluation where really things are going. But I'm sure that there's something in my life I'm missing that I'm probably paying for that I don't need, that maybe I could take a close look myself. But ladies, this is, as I said, probably something in the best of times that people need to take a look at, but it isn't the best of times. It's been a long 27, 28 months since Wuhan broke out in China in November of 2019. And a lot of people have been drugged down, whether they realize it or not. They're dealing with stresses, they're dealing with financial challenges, they're dealing with social challenges, family challenges, isolation, and just the kind of the downer that's been the political and the viral activities that have taken place for the last 28 months. So in light of that, I imagine that hopefully there'll be some interest for this, and maybe people should take a look at it just as a chance to, if nothing else, maybe just take a closer look at their lives and try to get out of the doldrums. And Karen, do you think that's a fair statement?
I think it's absolutely fair, because if I look at my own financial situation, I was going through so many different emotions, and you just lose track. You suddenly just lose track, and you're just trying to feel better. And then perhaps we go and get too many coffees at Seattle Coffee, whereas perhaps if we were in a better space, we would think about it twice. But when you're going through all this stuff, you just forget. You don't think about it, and you've got all these emotions happening in your life, and everything is so overwhelming. We don't look, and that's why when the prick comes, like that feeling in the body, like you can feel like your hair standing on your neck, that's when you suddenly decide to look at your finances. So we want to catch people and bring them to have a look and get them moving with their life, and really we're working on the emotional aspect as well. So we're not just working on looking at that. We're actually looking at you. Where are you emotionally, and supporting people along this journey emotionally, holding their hand emotionally. And I think that's what we're all needing right now. I think there's sometimes, you can feel so lost. I've had all sorts of feelings. I'm sure everybody else has, where you feel so alone. You feel like there's nobody to hold your hand and support you. And we do all sorts of things, and you get help, but there's no one actually watching you take those steps. It feels like we need to take you from beginning to the end of the journey, so that it's not the end, but it's going to take you a fair step forward. I mean, if you're doing this for 21 days, you have moved forward sufficiently in your life, and maybe that will give the person, well, not maybe, we truly believe it will give the person the energy to get going with what's important in their lives and to really have some flow happening. So
excellent. Well, thanks.
Very
Appreciate that.
passionate about this.
It sounds like we were just meeting for the first time here, Karen, so I appreciate that. But Linda and I are old hat. I've seen Linda before. Old hat,
Yeah.
not to reflect on our age or our youth there, but we've been down this road before and talked with her other program that she was doing. And what I have to say, Linda, is that in the midst of all this doldrums and the depression of the weighing down of what's been going on in the Rona era, you always have a smile on your face every time I see you. That alone is encouraging for me. I'm not sure what's in your life, if it's your philosophy or just your worldview, but you seem to have a smile on your face each time I see you. And even if it's faked, it's a pretty good one.
She's always got a smile on her face. Always
You know
smiling.
what, Chris? You remind me of Father Christmas, so you just bring joy to me. I look at that beard, and every time I see it, it gets longer, and I'm like, oh well, there's the abundance. It's right there.
Well, there'll be no coal in your stocking. I'm reserving all the coal for ESCOM so they can keep the power going.
That's brilliant.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate it.
We really appreciate it.
All right, ladies, that's Karen Blair and Linda Louise once again about this upcoming workshop called Activate Abundance. You can find information about it. We'll be doing a live stream covering this, and you can also tune in for that. But you're going to find information right below the video down there. There'll be links to find out about it and register for it if you're interested in it. Check it out, folks. It might make a difference in your life. And what have you got to lose? Especially if you're sitting at home doing nothing but watching DSTV. There's got to be a better outcome than that. Take care of yourselves.